Your biggest asset isn't money. It's this. Picture this. You're grinding it out 40, 50, maybe even 60 hours a week. You're saving, investing, cutting back, all hoping that one day you'll finally be financially secure. But then you look around, and it hits you. Even though you've done everything right, there's this constant hum of anxiety. Sound familiar? That nagging feeling that if you lost your job, if the market tanked, or if a health scare popped up, everything you've built could vanish in the blink of an eye. This isn't just a feeling. This is the reality for millions of Americans and Canadians, day in and day out. And maybe, just maybe, it's your reality too. Let me be blunt. If you think your greatest asset is the cash in your bank, the house you're mortgaged up to your eyeballs for, or that 401k balance, well, you might be pinning your hopes on something that could disappear when you least expect it. I know, that's a tough pill to swallow. But I promise you, if you stick with me through this, you'll understand why 95% of Americans, even those pulling in a decent income, are still living on a financial knife's edge. And you'll also discover the one asset that's truly rock solid, something no one can ever take from you, and the very thing that lays the foundation for real, lasting financial freedom. You see, society drills a lot into us about money. Make money, save money, invest money, and spend money smartly. But almost nobody teaches you the core secret that wealthy families have quietly passed down for generations. The kind of asset no market crash can destroy, no crisis can steal. Let me let you in on a little secret. I used to think financial freedom was all about a fat bank account. I dove headfirst into stocks, real estate, crypto, and yeah, there were times I hit it big. But then I lost. And I lost hard. I lost money, lost sleep, lost my damn bearings. Until one day, I met this guy. An older, successful entrepreneur, lived real simple, but had this incredible network, this vision, and a kind of calm I'd never seen in any other rich person. When I asked him his secret, all he said was, "Money's never the real asset. The real asset is whatever you've got left that allows you to rebuild from scratch, even if you lose every dime today." It didn't click right away, but slowly, it started to sink in. Coming up, I'm going to show you the 3 types of assets the truly wealthy always focus on building, whether cash is flowing in or out. Why the smartest folks out there never bet their entire lives on just their bank balance. And how you, starting today, can build a financial foundation so strong it's not dependent on the market, not scared of inflation, and not swayed by those empty promises of the American financial dream. Stay with me, because what's next will change how you see wealth forever. 3 assets money can't buy, and why you must start building them today. 1. Asset number 1. Knowledge, the only asset that can regenerate wealth. Imagine you've got a cool $1 million in the bank. Then, one day, a bad call, a scam, some crazy economic curveball, and poof, it's all gone. Here's the $1 million question. Could you build it all back? If your answer is yes, then I'd bet my bottom dollar you possess an asset far more valuable than money: knowledge. Now, don't get degrees twisted with valuable knowledge. Here in the US, millions of people are drowning in student loan debt, armed with bachelor's or master's degrees. Yet they can barely make rent. Why? Because they've got the paper, but they're missing the real-world know-how to actually create value. The truly wealthy, from savvy investors to groundbreaking entrepreneurs, they all share this. They don't just read books. They learn how to think. They learn how to read the market. They learn how to analyze human behavior. They learn how to ask the right questions, dig up the right intel, and make decisions that aren't just gut feelings. You can take their money, but you can't take what they know. That's why guys like Elon Musk, Ray Dalio, or Oprah Winfrey can lose it all and then build it right back up, because they didn't start with money. They started with a mindset. If you're just starting out on your financial journey, don't get suckered into those get-rich-quick mirages. Instead, ask yourself, do I really know how to analyze risk? Do I get how my personal cash flow actually works? Can I understand and use the leverage of knowledge instead of just the leverage of debt? Knowledge isn't just an asset. It's the bedrock of every other asset you'll ever own. 2. Asset number 2. Health, the internal financial system nobody talks about. Now, chew on this. You could be pulling in $200,000 a year, but if you drag yourself out of bed every morning feeling exhausted, anxious, sleep-deprived, with a pounding headache and a knot in your stomach, what good is all that money, really? We're living in a society that practically begs us to trade our health for dollars, burning the midnight oil, chugging 4 cups of coffee just to function, running on 5 hours of sleep, grabbing fast food because who has time to cook? hitting the gym like a maniac in January, and then ghosting it by February. Here's the kicker. You can't just pause your health. It just quietly slips away until one day the bill comes due. Cancer, heart disease, chronic anxiety, diabetes, stroke. You've heard the stats. But here's what often gets missed. The cost of buying back your health is always 10 times, 100 times more than the cost of just maintaining it. One of the sharpest investors I ever met, a guy who ran a multi-million-dollar fund, told me something I'll never forget. I can hire people to manage my money, but nobody can manage my health for me. And this is critical. Health is financial leverage. A healthy person is a more productive person. Someone with energy and a clear head makes better decisions. Someone who isn't constantly sick isn't leaking money on doctors' bills, prescriptions, and lost workdays. So, if you want to build wealth that lasts, start investing in your nutrition, your sleep, your movement, and your mental peace right now. You don't wait until you have money. What good is a beautiful house, a fancy car, or a fat brokerage account if you're too sick to enjoy any of it? It's all worthless. 3. Asset number 3. Your network, the relational ecosystem, the super asset of the successful. You know what really separates an average Joe from someone who makes things happen? It's not just IQ. It's not just cash. It's who they know and who knows them. When a financial storm hits, you need that timely piece of advice. When you've got a killer idea, you need someone who can help you connect the dots and make it real. When you're out of a job, you need a trusted connection to open a door, make an introduction, point you in the right direction. This is something most people are never taught. Money doesn't just flow from your job, it flows from your relationships. One of the biggest blunders I ever made was buying into that pull yourself up by your own bootstraps myth. I hated asking for help, was shy about connecting, nervous about talking to new people. Until it hit me. I couldn't grow if I was trying to do it all by myself. I needed mentors. I needed people on the same wavelength. I needed to learn from those who'd walked the path before me. And I also had to be willing to give value to others, genuinely, before ever expecting anything back. So, how do you build this kind of network? It's not about spamming LinkedIn requests or networking just to see what you can get. It's about living a life of value, sharing authentically, and not being afraid to give first with no strings attached. The truly wealthy people? They always have a support system. A small, high-quality community. A tight circle of trusted friends. A mentor they deeply respect. A strong network doesn't just help you make money. It keeps you from feeling alone when you stumble. Okay, let's pause for a breath. You might be thinking, so, if I've already burned years just chasing dollars, is it too late to turn things around and build these real assets? The answer is absolutely not. It's never too late. And in this final part, I'm going to lay out a simple path. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. Just shift your focus. Stay tuned, because part 3 is where we tie it all together. The truth the wealthy know, and how you can start today. If you've ever hit a financial target and still felt empty, if you've ever found yourself wondering, why do I still feel hollow, anxious, and adrift, even after all the saving, all the effort, you're not alone. Because here's a massive misconception baked into modern society. We're taught how to get money, but nobody teaches us how to build true wealth. We spend our best years learning how to be good cogs in the machine, but not how to create value that the machine can't control. We obsess over pinching pennies, but we let our knowledge gather dust, our health decline, and our relationships fade away. So, what's the move? It's not about jumping into another get-rich-quick scheme. It's not about ditching everything to live like a hermit in the mountains. It's about starting to rebuild from the ground up. White heavy checkmark step 1. Pick one skill you want to truly master. It doesn't have to be the hottest new thing. Choose something that helps you solve real problems for real people. Maybe it's personal finance coaching, coding, applied psychology, mastering communication, negotiation, or emotional intelligence. Skills are cash-flowing assets, and high-level mastered skills? Those are legacy assets you can pass on. White heavy checkmark step 2. Reclaim your health, one small step at a time, every single day. Lights out before 11 p.m. Ease up on the sugar and caffeine. Just 15 minutes of movement every morning. And carve out time to just be, to breathe, to feel, to heal. Your health doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be heading in the right direction. White heavy checkmark step 3. Proactively build your small, quality community. Don't wait for someone else to make the first move. Send someone a genuine thank you note. Ask someone how they're really doing, and listen. Share a valuable article or insight. Offer a helping hand with no expectation of anything in return. You reap what you sow, but you've got to plant in fertile ground. You won't see the changes overnight. But 6 months, a year, 3 years down the road, you'll look back and think, thank God I stopped chasing money like a moth to a flame back then. Collision TO wrap it up. One last story. There was this fella, worked 30 years straight at a big corporation. Always punctual, always worked hard, always saved his pennies. When he retired, he had a nice little nest egg. But he also had diabetes and no energy left to travel. His close friends had drifted, scattered to the winds. His kids were busy with their own lives. No time for those long, meandering conversations. And it hit him, he was rich, but he was what I call truly poor. Don't let that be your story. Starting today, build the assets that money can't buy and can't buy back. Knowledge, to create your freedom. Health, to truly savor every single moment you're alive. Your network, so you never have to walk your path alone. You still have time. All you have to do is start. Right now.